between the Mars Hill Lions and your Carson-Newman Eagles. A reminder that Carson-Newman and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial and sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, the consumption of possession of alcoholic beverages at the site of competition is prohibited. I would now like to introduce Campus Minister Jeremiah Young to the mic.
Thank you. So as some of you may know, today is Suicide Prevention Day, and we just want to take a brief moment of silence. So if everybody would stand, and we'll take a moment of silence for all those affected by suicide, family members, friends, and then I'll close this in a brief moment of prayer. Dear God, we thank you for this day, and we pray for this game and this competition. Be with all the players and coaches and officials today. Lord, we come to you today knowing that there are people here who have been affected by suicide, affected by things and actions of others. And God, especially Carson-Newman soccer with the death of Tom Rankin. We just pray for that family. We pray for Carson-Newman soccer. But God, we thank you that we can be people who grieve with hope and know that those who believe get to spend eternity in heaven. And God, we just thank you for this opportunity. We can come to honor you with athletics and with our audience. And God, I thank you for this time. And we just pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Young. And now let's introduce the starters first for the Lions. Number 2, Julia Luna. Number 5, Zoe Steinkamp. Number 8, Marina Ross. Number 9, Shannon Hall. Number 10, Mackenzie Quinley. Number 11, Bailey Whitehead Price. Number 12, Carla Humera. Number 13, Amanda Waiskowitz. Number 14, Elida Taylor. Number 25, Karis Peterson. And in goal, number 33, Cameron Miller. Mars Hill is led by Holly Rockcliffe. She is assisted by Bethany Morgan. And now the starters for your Carson-Newman Eagles. In goal, a freshman from Haarlem, Netherlands, Laura Jermis. From Ottersberg, Germany, Yenta Cooper. From Liechtenstein, number 6, Felicia Frick. From Wilderswil, Switzerland, number 9, Selena Judd. From Chattanooga, Tennessee, number 10, Addie Henry. From Hassan Wiesenthal, Germany, number 11, Karina Wust. From Halmstad, Sweden, number 13, Nellie Brinius. From Banbury, Tennessee, number 16, Abby Zander. Number 23, from Chattanooga, Tennessee, MJ Park. From West Yarmouth, Massachusetts, number 24, Noelle Kreiser. And from Johnson City, Tennessee, number 25, Savannah Fields. At this time, we ask that you now please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Harvey Stadium as we get set for kickoff in the 15th all-time meeting between Carson-Newman and Mars Hill. It's great to have you with us for this matchup. I'm Michael Watring, bringing you the action here from Mossy Creek as we get ready for this kick. Carson-Newman is flawless all-time against the Lions, 14-0. Most wins by the program against any other team they've ever faced. Mars Hill's never scored multiple goals either in the history of this series, and we'll find out what happens here today. Carson-Newman in the all-white. Carson-Newman is wearing the all-white uniform tops and bottoms for this contest, and we're just about ready for kickoff as these two sides square off here today. Carson-Newman in the whites, Mars Hill in the blues, and we are ready to load here from Harvey Stadium as the opening kick goes back to the team's leading goal scorer in Marianne Ross. Mars Hill 3-3-1 overall this season. Carson-Newman 5-2-2, winners of 4 in a row. Mars Hill has the longest road losing streak in the country, 18 consecutive. You have to go back to 2018, the last time the Lions won a road contest, but it is a Mars Hill side with 3 wins. That's off to one of its better starts in recent memory, looking to get back to a conference tournament. Carson-Newman, meanwhile, has really turned on the heaters and has gotten a lot better for Simon Duffy's crew. Eagles winners of 4 in a row. It's the 8th consecutive year that Carson-Newman's had a winning streak of at least 3. Off of the goal kick, this one goes out of bounds, and Carson-Newman will get a throw. So let's see how the Eagles handle this situation here at home today. It's a very home-heavy schedule at the beginning of the year. Here's this flag going up. Offside is the whistle. Second minute. No score so far, and no shots yet either at this point, as MJ Park sends this up into the bleachers. Here's a long ball down the sideline and an early sprint for Mars Hill, but Carson-Newman's defense has been so stout here of late with how they've played. And the Eagles able to ring the bell that time around and provide the answer. Now Carson-Newman will look to provide a counter. This ball played through the middle. Good touch by Voost. And it does get cleared away. It's a pristine fall day here at Mossy Creek. You can't ask for anything better at this point in the year. And we'll see if Carson-Newman can give these fans something to cheer about as this ball takes a ricochet. Henry the header! And it does get deflected out. Last touch by Henry for a goal kick. Well, that was a near disaster there from Cameron Miller, as that ball took a little bit of a ricochet. And that ball was hugging the chalk and nearly found its way in. So after the brief injury there to Cameron Miller, goal kick taken down the pitch. Brenius was making the run. Now it comes back. Voost with the header. She's been around the pitch already early in this one, and Mars Hill will have an opportunity to collect it. Yenta Cooper wearing the captain's armband. First one to get to it. Eagles will play through the middle of the yard with Frick. MJ Park the target. She gets the extra pass forward for Addie Henry. And it is cleared to the sideline, but Carson-Newman continues its early pace. Park to throw. High arcing ball looking for Brinius. She slides it back. Mars Hill there with the answer, but the pressure mounts for Carson-Newman. Eagles unbeaten in their last 10 at home. This has been a friendly pitch for this side for a long time. And another throw coming for the Eagles. 5th minute, no score. Carson-Newman looking for its first true chance after Henry had an opportunity. Out top, Fields shuffles it out wide for Zander. Zander will fly it in, takes several redirects before it is Addie Henry getting the last piece of it. It goes out wide, but a good opportunity right there by the Eagles. That was very well played. Abby Zander, who Simon Duffy has said has been the most consistent player on the team this season. The work that she put in over the summer has really shown up here on the pitch this year for Zander. Starting right back after spending the majority of her career in the midfield in an attacking position, bits and pieces of defense. And now it's the other outside back, MJ Park from the left side. And it's cleared to the sideline. Well, Mars Hill has had to do so much defending this season. They give up a goal and a half plus per match this year. Henry holding it up. Now will send it in. Was looking for a deflection to win a corner. Instead, it flies all the way out, and it goes out for a goal kick. Well, entering this matchup, Lenore Ryan, the top team in the league, 13 points overall thanks to that draw against, or they have a draw and 4 wins in the holster. Carson-Newman enters a point shy. LR is playing a non-conference match tonight, so Carson-Newman could seize control of the top spot in the league with a win in this matchup. Catawba sits in 3rd, a top 10 team in the country. They host Coker today at 7:30. Catawba has a game in hand, so they will not be able to pass Carson-Newman unless the Eagles lose this matchup tonight. The best match of the day is Limestone and Anderson. Addie Henry was in an offside slot, had to let that one go by, and it's a goal kick. We'll be keeping an eye on that Limestone and Anderson match. Limestone entering with 9 points, 4 off the pace. Anderson 8 points, 5 off the pace. And Coach Simon Duffy said that that Limestone match for the Eagles was really the turning point for this team this season. Eagles winning that matchup on September 13th, 1-0. Ball pings around before Park shuffles it out. Well, a lot of possession for Carson-Newman on the right of the pitch, and it is a wonderful crowd here today at Harvey Stadium. A lot of fans showing up to watch this contest and enjoying this one so far. Rare opportunity forward for Mars Hill. It slides all the way over. Whitehead Price cannot link up with it, and a throw coming for the Eagles. Well, with how this schedule breaks out this year, it was a late decision by Queens to move forward to the Division I ranks. Carson-Newman had a game on the schedule against the Royals in the conference action at the end of the year, and because that game taken away, Carson-Newman will go 11 days at the end of the season without a match. And we're already here on match number 10 of the year. There's the team's leading scorer, Ross. Steinkamp against Zander. Zander gets beaten. Steinkamp towards the touchline. Zander tracks back to it, and it's last touch by Steinkamp for a goal kick. Excellent defense by Abby Zander, the junior from Bainbury, Tennessee. Attended high school at Jefferson County, which is right down the road here from Carson-Newman's campus. 10th minute of play. No score so far in this South Atlantic Conference contest. It's a Mars Hill team that is winless in its last 21 conference matches since 2019. They beat Tusculum in November of that year. The last road win for Mars Hill came in 2018, also against Tusculum down in Greenville. Henry the target of this pass, and it slides back. Well, one conversation that Simon Duffy mentioned when we spoke earlier today was quality chances that he's looking for out of his group. There's been several matches this year where the team has gotten a high volume of shots. That Emory and Henry match rings true, 33 shot attempts. He'd much rather have 10 quality shots, and feels like his team is trending in that direction to taking those chances. Zander surveys. Felicia Frick fouled, member of the Liechtenstein national team. Zander with the light blue headband will play this one forward. 11th minute. We're scoreless thus far. Abby Zander strikes it. It's flicked along, but right into the middle of the yard, and the team's leading goal scorer, Marianne Ross, has to clear. Heavy touch out wide. MJ Park will send it all the way back. Laura Jermis, the rookie goalkeeper. Henry was onside when she got to that ball. Now here's Brenius. Brenius, keeper is off of her line. It's a low shot and a diving stop by Cameron Miller. 11th minute, first opportunity for the Eagles in transition play. And Miller was almost stuck between a rock and a hard place, but she was able to make a good diving stop. Excellent passing from Henry. And she's back on the ball along this right sideline. Henry to the touchline. Now swings back. Boost. And then cleared out. Throw in for the Eagles. Abby Zander to take this throw for the Eagles. Eagles get one touch of it, and the pressure from Abby Zander ensures that they'll get another crack at it here. Mars Hill keeps it in play. Now Brenius steps up to intercept. Henry the target of the pass. Recycling is Elida Taylor, the junior from Evans, Georgia. Eagles the last one to touch it. And a throw coming here for the Lions. Well, it's great to have you on board for this matchup here today. For Carson-Newman in this series, it has been nothing but domination. High goal-scoring levels in a Mars Hill program that has really struggled of late. The 3 wins that the team has this year is already the most since 2018, when the team also won 12. For more than 3, you have to go all the way back to 2016 when they won 6 matches. Selena Judd flies wide. Boost. The German native. Excellent defending there by Karis Peterson. Well, Carson-Newman has been able to penetrate the attacking third several times, but the back line for the Lions has been strong. Zander tosses. Gets it right back from Boost, and we'll have to recycle that situation. Temperatures in the 60s in terms of Fahrenheit for this matchup. And the wind blowing towards the left-hand side of the pitch, right to left where Carson-Newman is going, left to right for this Mars Hill group. And Zander will get what in essence turns out to be a corner kick just inside of the flag and along the chalk. Zander flies it in. Back post over everybody, no touch. Goal kick coming. Well, Carson-Newman typically gets a lot of scoring chances. You can dial those up with high levels of frequency. Carson-Newman, 5 of the first 9 matches this year, 20-plus shot attempts, and the last 2, 58. That Coker match, Carson-Newman scoring twice. And the big question for Carson-Newman will be playing add-on. That 2-0 line. Nice to have the 3 points. They'd like to maybe see a few more balls wrinkle the rope. Judd taken off of the ball. Cleanly won according to our official. Now MJ Parkin towards the penalty spot. And it is cleared away before it gets to Savannah Fields. Zander. Low lining ball in. Mars Hill doing a lot of defending right now. Yenta Cooper will step forward to get to it. Only Noel Kreiser is on Carson-Newman's half of the pitch. A little bit of high press working, and it eventually works out. It is Steinkamp, but as so often happens, Zander gives possession away, promptly gets it right back. This ball will slide out. Mars Hill will get a throw. Spending a lot of time on their half of the pitch right now. Carson-Newman looking for its first 5-match winning streak since 2018. That year the team had streaks of 6 and 8. Well, the Lions have had to do so much work on the defensive side. They've cleared the ball out. The Eagles have had plenty of chances to catch their breath and restructure. It's an excellent crowd here. Some of the practices of the sports from around campus will start closing up shortly, and expect the crowd perhaps to even grow over that time. Good passing here. Long ball sent forward, racing after it, Steinkamp. But Abby Zander has well too much pace for Steinkamp to compete with. Look at the work ethic right here from Zander, but her pass eventually eludes a teammate. Judd for Henry. Eagles able to dispossess. Henry lays it forward. Brinius. Flag was down. Good combination work. Again, Addie Henry and Brinius providing that tactical advantage that the Eagles so often can exploit. It's a well-weighted pass, a terrific run, but at the end of it all, Cameron Miller cleans it up. Brinius doesn't get enough on that one. Well, this is a Mars Hill group that certainly improved as Park is called for the foul. Its 18-match road losing streak is the 4th longest amongst any of the 3 divisions. Manchester in Division 3 has dropped 35 consecutive. Nichols in the D1 ranks has dropped 28 in a row. And New Mexico Highlands tied with Mars Hill with 18 straight setbacks away from home. We're in the 18th minute. Scoreless thus far. Carson-Newman and Mars Hill squaring off for the 15th time. Eagles have never lost to the Lions. Park clears this one out towards the middle of the field. Henry holds. Zander. First time touch. Perfect pass forward. Savannah Fields. Defenders back, but Fields still in possession. Well, that's fine work defensively in the middle of the yard by Waskowitz. Brinius turns against Taylor. And Taylor, the last one to touch it in a corner coming up for the Eagles here in the 19th minute. Carson-Newman will bring everyone forward but Zander and MJ Park. The 2 central backs will come forward as well, and Brinius will be the one to strike the corner kick. Eagles looking to open up our scoring. It's a high arcing ball to the middle of the box. Cooper the target. And it's last touched by Mars Hill, and another corner kick coming up for the Eagles. That was such a high arcing ball. Surprising that Miller didn't track back to try to get a piece. One more opportunity here from Brinius. Plays this low. Voost doesn't get enough on it. And it's cleared fairly easily, but there's nobody out there as Park takes the touch. And Mars Hill intercepts with Marion Ross. Henry has options here. Judd was making a delightful run and was unmarked, but the pass ricochets off of a Lion. Well, it's a wonderful crowd here tonight. You have the Carson-Newman men's soccer team as well as the Mars Hill men's soccer team that are getting ready for what will be the nightcap tonight around 7:30. Park. Right-footed ball forward. Will Henry be able to catch up? She does get the first touch to it. Addie Henry, though, defended well. Shannon Hall, the senior from Sewanee, Georgia. Carson-Newman takes a quick toss. It was Frick, the intended target. Lions have been very good in terms of intercepting Carson-Newman's passing, as well as the opportunities from the Eagles haven't quite been as refined as we've been accustomed to during this 4-match winning streak. Xander slips. It allows Steinkamp to open up some real estate on this left-hand side. Xander takes a tumble. Steinkamp flies. Quinley circles. Flag goes up at the last moment. Offside, the whistle. Well, it all works out at the end of the day for Carson-Newman to be able to hold that one up and ensure that nothing comes of that scenario. They've played a quarter hour so far between Limestone and Anderson. 4 shots to 1 advantage in favor of the Saints. Here, Carson-Newman has all 4 shots, 2 of which have come on frame. And yet again, the Eagles with some penetration. Judd. Brinius off the chest. Judd will wait for it. Xander will get the last word here on this attack. Voost. Low ball in and cleared away, and another corner kick coming up. And Karina Voost, one of the 10 goal scorers this year for Carson-Newman. Last time the Eagles didn't have double-digit goal scorers minus that COVID year. You have to go back to 2014. So much depth, as always, that this group has. Voost plays it back for Xander. Xander one touch, low ball in, redirect, cleared away. Frick the one that got the initial shot attempt. But it's a good bit of defending. I think it was Taylor on the opposite post. Xander doesn't get a lot on that ball. Frick will spin around. Boost. Off the outside of the boot. It is Brinius trying to split a couple defenders. And yet again, Taylor coming over. Fields. Park. And now Henry, will she be able to get to it before the chalk? Indeed she will. Park. Off the outside of the cage. And here in the 24th minute with no score, we get our first change of the match, and it'll be Sonny Martinson, the Mars Hill transfer, to come onto the pitch. And spoke with her earlier today, and she said that she was excited to see some of her former teammates and get an opportunity here to play against this Mars Hill unit, where she starred the last couple seasons and now taking a grad year with the Eagles and has bagged a couple goals so far this season. And there she is with her first touch of the day. Martinson leaves it, goes back, tries to get it. Instead, the Eagles once again alleviate pressure. This ball has well too much weight on it. Nobody will get there in time. It goes out here in the 25th minute. We're scoreless here at Harvey Stadium, where Carson-Newman is looking to see recent history go their way. The Eagles have scored multiple goals in each of the last 10 meetings against Mars Hill. Last time that the Eagles didn't do it was the only time that they've failed to do so since '09. That was in 2012, Carson-Newman winning that matchup by a 1-0 tally. Really good work here for Martinson to hold it up. Then plays it to the middle of the pitch. Options here. Judd decides to take aim. Hits it way too far and out. You have to like the aggression, though, if you're Simon Duffy. Eagles have taken their fair chances. Well, Eagles have been a bit of a slow starting group throughout this season. And it's really been the second half where this team has found a rhythm. 12 goals coming in half number 2. Kreiser, Cooper, and now Jermis. Carson-Newman has only trailed twice during its 10-match home unbeaten string. The longest came against Nova Southeastern at the beginning of the month, trailing for 48 minutes before a 73rd minute leveler. At the lone blemish of sorts, 9 wins during that 10-match unbeaten string, one of the longest in the country. Well, Carson-Newman has played direct, a few long balls at times, and now Abby Zander tosses it for Martinson. Corner kick. Carson-Newman getting some restarts here. And an opportunity that Karina Wust, the junior from Germany, 27th minute, and it's Wust towards the back post. And it eludes several white jerseys and goes out for a Mars Hill throw. Well, kind of an interesting day if you're a fan. If you're in the sun, good day to wear short sleeves, maybe a pair of jeans. If you're not in the sun, you probably need a windbreaker. And as we go through the night, perhaps a sweatshirt in the cards. But this is prime time weather here near Mossy Creek. The leaves will begin changing. We'll start to get that beautiful foliage that you would expect from East Tennessee. And the question for Simon Duffy's group is, with the changing of leaves, does that bring the Eagles back towards the top of the league table, standing at second right now? A win would put them in first at night's end. Changes for the Eagles. Bingson and Sidney Duncan, along with Propes, will all enter. Wust, Fields, and Judd will all get breaks. So Carson-Newman has made 4 changes here in the opening half. Mars Hill is yet to make 1. And, of course, remember, in collegiate soccer, you get the opportunity to make changes in the first half. Those players can re-enter in the second half. And in half number 2, if you come off the pitch, you can re-enter 1 time. Well, Mars Hill has not crossed midfield in a long time. And the Eagles' relentless press has been completely evident. Waskowitz, Jupiter, Florida native, along the sideline, and as has so often been an interception. Eagles will not have the speed to get to it. Cooper pounds it into the air. Martinson waits. Martinson goes aerial. And it's Cameron Miller there, the sophomore from Utah. See, it's the mountains of Utah to the mountains of North Carolina. Another glance at it. Martin using that size, 5'7". That ball hits Humera, I think right around the cast. Looks like she's all right as she walks down the field. Half-hour mark here at Mossy Creek. Carson-Newman and Mars Hill clashing. No score so far. The Eagles have had all of the shots in the match. With our entire crew for the Eagle Sports Network, Michael Wattrang bringing you the action here from a sunny early evening hours in East Tennessee. Hope you're having a fine day or night wherever you're watching this one, be it in the United States or internationally. Mars Hill getting this possession. It feels like even when they do get a little bit of an attack going as this ball goes out for a throw, there's just not enough reinforcements. Playing with those 4 in the back and 2 holding defensive midfielders. The most that they can bring forward are 4. And now it's Alicia Heiniger replacing Kreiser in Carson-Newman's 11. So make that 5 first-half subs with less than a quarter hour to go in the first half. And Heiniger promptly getting the touch. I mentioned 10 different goal scorers for Carson-Newman. Brennius leads the way with 4. Judd has 3, and 3 different players have a pair. And the scoring by committee that we might expect from this Eagles group beginning of the year has held true. A shanked ball on the clearance attempt. Brennius flares it out wide. Xander the target. Can't get there in time. It's cleared out by Peterson. And Carson-Newman will get another corner kick out of this. 32nd minute. Scoreless affair here from McCowan Field. And Abby Xander is ready to take another corner. Eagles haven't really been threatening off of these corner kick opportunities. Xander pings, out-swinging ball. 1 first by Shannon Hall. Second go at it here. Probst taken off, and Mars Hill sweeps it away. So Abby Xander will take the throw. So often in this match, whenever Carson-Newman has had a restart or a corner, they're not winning that first ball. Martinson picks out Abby Xander. Low lining ball, back out. Yenta Cooper will have options. Takes her defender 1v1. Now Cooper having to swing all the way back. Now decides to switch fields. And it works out. Xander spinning. Probst is open. Instead, it is swung away once more. 33rd minute. Xander takes the toss. Martinson making the run. She has to reverse course, and it gets cleared away. Steinkamp. Look at the defense there by Xander. Calm and collected to take it away. Plays it to the middle of the field. Martinson waits for it, cannot make the turn, though. Flag was up for offside as well. That was really good work. First by Xander. Martinson utilizing her body to shield, but the flag up for offside. Substitution coming on for Mars Hill for the first time today. We take a look at Michaela Barber, the rookie from Concord, North Carolina. She replaces Whitehead Price in the 11. First change made by Holly Rockcliffe. First season with the Lions. Carson-Newman entering tonight second in the conference in goal scoring. Over 2 per match, 4 times multiple goals. But so far haven't been able to find a breakthrough here in the opening 45 minutes of action here. Can the Eagles find something? Cooper will take her time. Eagles will build through the back. Mars Hill has provided no level of stress to Carson-Newman when the Eagles have had this kind of possession. Look at where the central defenders are and how wide. But off of the giveaway, the Eagles have to collapse defensively. Mars Hill can't control possession long enough to provide a threat, and a throw coming for the Eagles. Carson-Newman will have another change at the ready. It would be the 6th of the first half at the next stoppage as we wind under 10 minutes to go in the opening half. Miller. Martinson is providing the pressure. That is dangerous there by Miller, but she is able to sweep away from Martinson. Eagles, 3 different players providing a blockade before a foul whistled. All Carson-Newman needs here at this point to complete a strong opening half is a goal. And Carson-Newman has been good at doing just that. Carson-Newman has scored in the first half in 26 of the first 54 matches under Simon Duffy. 25-1 record. Martinson waits, gets ahead to it, spins. Brenius, Eagles trying to bring this ball to the ground. Cooper. Brenius making the run. And she gets a great job providing position to get in front. And a foul is whistled, and I believe we're going to get our first booking of the day as well. Our official, Zach McWhorter, has not officially brought out a card at this point. Oh, they call it a penalty. It's inside of the box. I didn't think that that ball had taken place inside of the box, but it does. And it's Felicia Frick, the rookie from Liechtenstein, that will get our first opportunity. So everybody getting set on the chalk, and it's Felicia Frick with the opportunity to open the scoring. Whistle blows. Frick steps over it. Left-footed attempt. Low in the corner. Carson-Newman strikes first. Frick, second of the year, ripples the rope, and the Eagles on top, 1-0. So Carson-Newman draws the PK. And it works out for the Eagles. That was a very technically taken kick by Felicia Frick. Miller guessed right. She was in the right place, but it was low and it was tucked into the corner. And that's why Carson-Newman is able to go on top by a 1-0 advantage. Well, that's what the Eagles needed, an opportunity to get on top first. I thought the foul occurred outside of the 18-yard box, and we were going to get a free kick instead. It does happen inside of the box. Carson-Newman 37-3-3 when scoring first under Simon Duffy. And it's Carson-Newman that opens up our scoring here. 37th minute strike from Frick. It's her second of the year. Off of the free kick. Martinson gets a flick on. Miller bobbles it. It's loose in the box, and they're calling a foul on Carson-Newman. Maya Bingson, the freshman, bumped right into Miller going after that ball. There have been a couple times in this match where Miller has given up juicy rebound opportunities. And I wonder if that'll be a talking point at the break with Simon Duffy. Let's continue to put shots on, and when we do so, let's attack the net because we might get an opportunity on the second chance. Steinkamp. Well, Steinkamp has had a couple opportunities. She carries this one all the way into the box, but Xander will shield, and Jermis, called into action for one of the first times in the match, gobbles that one up. Well, let's see if that opens the floodgates for Carson-Newman. The first goal of the match. Cooper. Martinson the target. See what the Eagles are trying to do with Martinson on the pitch. Out wide on a good ball for Mick Kriebel. And more subs happening. Kiana Tuckett onto the pitch. Still no score from Anderson. 40th minute there. Limestone taking numerous chances. 8 shots so far to 2. The advantage in the category. But so far, nothing to show out of it. Here it's Carson-Newman on top, and with this advantage, the Eagles have moved to the top of the table. Passing by Lenore Ryan and, of course, Catawba with a game in hand. Hosting Coker tonight. Here's a long-distance attempt that hits the woodwork, and it bounces into the air and bangs off the top of the net. It was a heat-seeking missile from Sydney Duncan from well outside of the box. Miller did not have it covered. And it hits off the top of the crossbar. Probst couldn't quite get her feet right as she was trying to make that turn. Eagles still in possession, though. Well, Mars Hill just trying to clear their lines at all costs at this point. Carson-Newman sensing perhaps a second could be in the cards here before halftime. 41st minute. Eagles won thanks to a Frick PK goal. And here's a goal kick. Mars Hill enters having scored just 7 goals this year. Despite the low tally, they've only been shut out twice. And it's a team that does not take a lot of shot attempts. Only once this year have they attempted double-digit shots in a match. So if Mars Hill are to get back into this one, they're going to need some kind of strike. And with how Carson-Newman has dominated the opening half, can't expect the Lions really to get more opportunities. As here's a kick from Miller. Excellent footwork there by Humera. Tried to get that extra pass, had a teammate streaking in the middle. Marianne Ross, haven't called her name much in the attack, the team's leading goal scorer. Miller. Now the sun sets to our right-hand side. That'll make it challenging for Miller in the second half. Carson-Newman trying to get through the first and allow Jermis to play with the sun at her back. Probst. Elena Probst able to find some space in the middle of the yard. Was looking for Martinson, just didn't have enough to get it over there. Well, it's a header from Sydney Duncan, but a couple teammates were running behind her. Barber reverses Fields, plays it to the middle. Quinley. Eagles clear, and a foul whistled as Heininger takes a hit. "43rd minute. Carson-Newman won thanks to a 37th minute penalty kick from Felicia Frick. How about the freshman stepping up to take it? Eagles today had 3 freshmen in the starting 11. Martinson inside of the box, getting to the touchline, flying it in. It takes a redirect. Peterson shovels it out. That ball looked like it went out, and indeed it is. Throw in for the Eagles. 90 seconds to go first half. Keep your eye on the clock as Carson-Newman starting to provide a little bit more of pressure now, turning it up a notch in the waning moments. But this one out for a goal kick. Xander couldn't link up with it. Well, if you're Mars Hill, this is where you want to take some time off of the clock. One more minute to go here in the first half. Miller's taking a lot of air out of the ball. Almost 20 seconds have come off of the clock, and our official, Zach McWhorter, has had nothing to say about it. We wind under 50 seconds. Abby Xander gets the first touch to it. Heininger. Tuck it for Mars Hill. MJ Park. Probst. Tuck it. Under a half a minute to go. Xander up into the seats. That one nearly ended up into the press box. 15 seconds left.
And 9, 8.
Listen to the clock. Look at the ref.
And they're going to put about 8 seconds back on the clock. Get it back to 14 seconds. With a score 1-0 in favor of Carson-Newman. Trying to get the clock sorted out here. And now we have it. And we're back into it. Probst gets the last deflection to it.
7.
And that is how the opening half is going to come to a close. Carson-Newman pretty dominant throughout the entirety of the first half, but settled for just the one goal in an opening 45 minutes that sees Mars Hill fail to attempt a shot. And Carson-Newman wrap it up with 9 overall shot attempts, 3 on frame. And the difference in the match right now sits with a penalty kick goal from Felicia Frick in the 37th minute. It's Carson-Newman 1, Mars Hill 0. We've reached halftime here at Harvey Stadium. We'll step out for a break. Second half action right around the corner with Carson-Newman on top of the Lions. 1-0. Stick with us here on the Eagle Sports Network.
All right, Eagles fans, it's now time to kick against town, halftime giveaway. So we're going to draw 3 names out of the hat. Some of your names may have been entered without you knowing it. Draw 3 names. Each person's going to have 3 kicks. So first name up. Karina. Is there a Karina in the crowd? I think somebody put Karina's name in without her knowing it. How about Aiden Tuberville? Aiden Tuberville, come on down. And then the East, Connor Miller. Have Coach Amanda Lowe. This is cheer coach Amanda Lowe. 3 kicks. Talon, you ready? All right. Stop. Talon. Oh, go! Go! One more. Oh, 2 goals. Go, coach. All right. Up next, we got Aiden. All right, good job, Aiden. Oh, that's in. That's 2 for 2. Ow, Aiden. Hey, we might have some walk-on trials next week. All right. All right. And now we have Connor. Oh, a little high, Connor. 2 more. Oh, a little high. We might need you to kick field goals Saturday. All right. Head it up. Oh, he got it in. All right. Connor, stick around in case we need a backup field goal kicker Saturday. All right. They all won Carson-Newman hoodies. Thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate it. We'll do this again at the men's game. Halftime of the men's game, we'll do this again. Still time to put your name in the hat.
We welcome you back to Harvey Stadium. Carson-Newman looking to win yet again against Mars Hill. Has a 1-0 edge as we get ready to start off half number 2. Lions have lost 18 consecutive road games. What happens here in this second half? Can the Lions get their first shot of the day? Or does Carson-Newman continue to apply the pressure? We find out over the next 45 minutes as we're underway in half number 2. Eagles now going right to left with this group out there on the pitch. Looks like it is pretty much the starting 11 back on the field for the Eagles across the board. Laura Jermis has not seen a shot so far on the day. She's had to really just play the ball a couple times so far in the contest. Felicia Frick's penalty kick goal in the 37th minute has proven to be the difference so far in the match. Cooper not seeing any kind of pressure. Henry has it taken off of her boot. Ross flings it forward. This one will get connected to by Humera. Long distance shot attempt. Bounces into the hands of Jermis. So Mars Hill on the board in shots. Doesn't come inside of the box, but it will go down as a shot attempt. MJ Park will pirouette and charge forward. Henry taken off of her shoe. Now a long cross sweeping all the way over. Voos was circling around it. Another cross attempt gets rejected. Well, the last time that Mars Hill beat Carson-Newman, you have to go back to 2007. That was a 3-2 win at home. With this ball in the box, Brenius flings it back, and it's picked up. So Carson-Newman has won 15 in a row against the Lions.
Come on, bit of class, quality in the final third. Go!
These two teams first started playing all the way back in the 90s. First meeting came in 1992 at Mars Hill. It was a 2-1 Carson-Newman win that season. Well, one of the things that Simon Duffy mentioned when we spoke earlier today was specifically about the Coker matchup. Last time the Eagles were on the pitch, Carson-Newman won that game 2-0. Felt like his team had a chance to add a few more in that contest, just couldn't see it all the way out. I'm sure in this match, one of the key talking points at halftime was to add to its goal-scoring ability. MJ Park tries to send Cooper along. She cannot connect. And a throw-in coming here for the Lions. Carson-Newman's 15-match winning streak against Mars Hill, the longest against any team that they faced. Kings the second closest. 7 straight against them. And during that stretch, the Eagles have had 8 clean sheets. 49th minute. Eagles looking for a little bit more. Here's a ball sent forward. Voost is turning on the afterburners. Miller clears. I think it was deflected by Voost. Henry. What a run here by Zander. In stride to get to it. Abby Zander flies it across. There's nobody over there until it gets to Fields. Fields taking off the ball with a fine slide tackle for Michaela Barber. Park gets it back from Frick. Brenius with a fine turn. Brenius was looking for Henry, intercepted in the box by Waskowitz. Fields was going to the back post. Xander has the speed. Abby Xander puts it back. Deflected. It hits the crossbar. It's cleared out to the top of the box. Boost another chance. One more chance by the Eagles as Judd slides to it. Xander was trying to attach it, and it goes out. First opportunity coming from Judd. Second chance from Boost. Cooper. Eagles setting up shop in the attacking area. Into the box, a header one. But it's well over the top of the bar. Judd was the one that won it. The native of Switzerland. That ball was stung well to the box. And it was a really good play by Judd to get across her defender and get a noggin to it. Carson-Newman 1, Mars Hill 0. As it stands, your live standings, Carson-Newman is in the top spot of the league. Catawba hosts Coker tonight. Boost wins the second ball. Her touch sends her out wide. She'll get another chance at it. Lays it off for Judd. A poking ball to the top of the 6 that Miller will pick up. Well, one thing that Simon Duffy said is he thinks that the distribution of this year's group has been as impressive as he's had of any team that he's had since he's been here, more in the terms of overall depth of ability to score and willingness to have a variety of players provide scoring chances. One of the keys that he mentioned was not how many goals you score in a game, but how many games can you score. And it's been the case during what has turned out to be a 4-match winning streak, looking for a 5th straight. This ball will end up near the press box. Carson-Newman looking for some more. Xander. Brenius will get to it first. Good ball for Fields between a couple defenders. Now crossed all the way through. Headed out for Frick. Park. Lofting ball in. Miller hauls it in. Oh, remember, there's been a few chances where Miller has had what seemingly look like pretty easy balls to collect. And that time, she hauls it in cleanly. Xander. Frick. To the middle of the yard, Brenius. Excellent ball for Henry. Bodies in the box. Henry flies it in. Brenius, the touch, and it's wide. Well, Carson-Newman's distribution has been good. Can Carson-Newman put one home? You can hear Simon Duffy saying, let's go. Miller's taken a lot of time. Cooper will send it back. Jermis. Well, what a growth we've seen from Jermis. Coach Simon Duffy said that perhaps that first week as a starter, acclimating to the team, acclimating to a new country as well, was maybe a bit of a challenge. But she's been great in net and been a reason why Carson-Newman's been so strong of late. Park getting inside of the 18, centers it, and it's cleared out for a corner kick. And here comes a corner kick. Karina Voost She will swing this one in. Sends it low. First person that it gets to was Taylor. And another corner coming up for the Eagles. Karina Voost. Can the Eagles score off of one of these corners? Voost flies it in, back post. It hits Henry first. Kreiser. Is there a second chance here? Instead, it's Tuckett battling against Kreiser, and it's a giveaway. A lengthy run coming forward here from Shannon Hall. Hall, long ball sent to the middle of the pitch. Park racing. Out of her box goes Jermis. That is a decisive play by Laura Jermis. Boy, she had to get that one perfect, and Michaela Barber was racing after it, and that shows the skills of Jermis. That was dangerous by the freshman. But as Coach Duffy said, so reliable, as poised as they come on the ball, and that exemplifies that. Could have been an equalizing moment with Jermis out of the box. 56th minute. Carson-Newman 1, Mars Hill 0. Lions have one shot attempt all match. Eagles looking to play add-on. They've outscored foes 13-1 during this 4-match plus winning streak. Kreiser now booted. Henry shields, as she does so well, holds it up. Brennius the target. And given right back. Fields will hold it up. Brennius against the defender. A lot of blue jerseys on her. But it goes out wide for Voost. Voost. Well, there's nobody in that particular area in white. Mars Hill trying to get this one out, and it ends up not working in their favor. Frick is going to get to it first. Judd turns. Henry. And now Park. MJ Park sends it in. Flicked on by Judd. Again, she does well to get to the first ball, and it takes a ricochet off of Mars Hill, and another corner coming up. 58th minute. The Eagles have had boatloads of chances. Karina Voost strides to it, strikes it in. Miller punches, doesn't get a lot of contact on it. Fields puts it home! Savannah Fields becomes the 11th Eagle to score this season. Carson-Newman leads 2-0. Off of a corner kick. You wondered, with all the chances that the Eagles have mounted, could they finally put one home? And it comes from Savannah Fields. And the Eagles have made it 2-0. Now can Carson-Newman keep applying the pressure? 4th career goal for Fields, who scored 3 times last year, including a 53rd minute goal in Carson-Newman's 6-0 win over the Lions. Park has it taken off of her feet. Frick beating an offender to the touchline. Fields will get back to it. Fields takes aim, and it's wide. Well, Carson-Newman has now had 8 corners in the match. And it took that long for the Eagles to eventually put one home. And the Eagles have gone on top 2-0. Miller takes the goal kick. Brinius the first to touch it. And think about this. That is now 11 goal scorers this season for Carson-Newman. They had 11 different goal scorers last year. Just overall depth that this group has. On the roster, 14 different players have scored at least one goal at some point in their career. And here in the 60th minute, it's a 2-0 Carson-Newman lead. And Maya Binkson, Sine Martinson, and Elena Probst will all come in for the Eagles, replacing that top line and midfielder role. Brinius, the only one of the three across the top to stay out there. Well, that's the depth that Simon Duffy has that luxury of. There's a lot of goal-scoring options, a lot of depth that he can call upon. Martinson getting a flick on. Brinius, the first touch, was circling around it, winding up, but it's cleared away. Handled by Taylor. Not out of trouble yet. Foul will be whistled. Bingson was taking a shot attempt. Carson-Newman clamoring for more than just that. And perhaps behind the play, a little bit of a conversation with Humera walking behind Zach McWhorter. And here comes a free kick opportunity for Simon Duffy's group. Frick, Bingson, Brinius. Right to left, hovering on top of the ball. Which one will it be? Brinius runs over it. Frick does as well. It's laid off for Brinius. Brinius punches it off the side of the cage. Well, you know that play came directly from the training ground with three options to take that ball. The first two fly by, a choice to be made. And eventually, Brinius getting the ball back. And now, it feels like Carson-Newman perhaps has more in them here in this second half than what they've produced thus far. Frick. Brinius turns. Looked like it hit a hand there. Official will not call it. This one will end up at midfield. And MJ Park will take the throw. Well, it's been a clinical effort by Simon Duffy's group again. And if you're looking forward to how things shake out in October, Carson-Newman gets Newberry at home on Saturday and what will turn out to be Senior Day. Then for the final 5 on the road. Probst taken off of the ball. Steinkamp can't hold it up long enough. Probst loose on the sideline, and it's last touched by Steinkamp. Well, you have that huge stretch of matches at LR, at home against an LMU team that is shockingly 1-8 this year. But you know that a rivalry match that late in the season, perhaps the Splitters playing for their postseason lives in terms of the conference tournament, that should be a good one. And then at a top 10 team in the country in Catawba. Brinius, excellent dribbling skills. Bingson hits a defender in the backside that was on the ground. That adds a little injury to injury. 64th minute. Carson-Newman a goal in each half. And it is a 11th consecutive meeting with Mars Hill that Carson-Newman has scored multiple goals. And Miller powers this one forward. Well, Mars Hill's only shot attempt of this match was a probing ball from about 25 yards away that really didn't test Jermis all that much. He just waited for it. Cooper is called for a handball. It's just outside of the box. That's beneficial for Mars Hill. What kind of tactical play can they draw up here? Immediately touching it, Marion Ross, the senior from Greer, South Carolina, and a transfer from USC Aiken. The team's leading goal scorer. She has 3 of the team's 7 of the year. And the Eagles will set this one up. Everybody in uniform for Carson-Newman is inside of the 18. Mars Hill still has 3 players out at midfield. And Marion Ross is the only one on top of it. Ross hits it, well taken, and it's in. The team's leading goal scorer gets Mars Hill on the scoreboard. A clinical finish from Ross and her 4th of the season.
Hey, we spoke about this.
That was a beautiful strike for Marianne Ross. Just absolutely perfect on the shot attempt, up over the wall and into the corner of the net. And that ends Carson-Newman's defensive scoreless effort. Martinson quickly into the box at the other end. And it's a goal kick coming here for the Lions. Well, think about how that sequence turned out. Mars Hill, very little, if any, possession on the ball. A long ball forward, and Yensa Cooper called for a handball outside of the box. Ross puts it in, and just like that, a lead cut in half for a Mars Hill team that had 1 shot in the first 60-plus minutes. Park has the wheels. That touch lets her down for just a moment. And it's last touched by the Lions, and a throw in for the Eagles. Well, how does Carson-Newman respond after giving up that goal? Frick. Past the defender, but too heavy on the touch, and a goal kick coming up here for Mars Hill. Remember, Mars Hill has not won a road match since October 20th of 2018. They won at Tusculum 2-1 in double overtime. It's the longest drought in the nation, tied with New Mexico Highlands, and the 4th longest in any of the 3 divisions. It would have to be a comeback tonight if the Lions are able to end that losing skid. 66th minute. Mars Hill, a goal against the Eagles for just the 8th time in the last 15 matches. They haven't scored multiple goals since they beat Carson-Newman in 2007. Another throw-in coming. Well, Mars Hill seems like it has gotten a little bit of extra energy since the miscue. Changes coming for the Eagles. Kriebel, Duncan, Zander on Brinius, Fields, and Frick. So both of Carson-Newman's goals, and Frick and Fields coming off of the pitch. Well, reserves out there. And Carson-Newman finds some extra goal support. Kriebel. It takes a ricochet. Miller can't handle it. Slides past her. And it is Sydney Duncan that will get the goal, and Carson-Newman goes on top 3-1 with a quick response. Well, Duncan had to work hard for it after a redirect. She gets it back and strikes for the 3rd time this season. Well, it takes all of about 3 minutes for Carson-Newman to find an answer after conceding against the Lions. Well, it's fair play for Mars Hill at the end of it all. It's a beautiful goal by Marianne Ross. Certainly if you're Carson-Newman, frustrated by allowing that free kick to happen in a game in which you've dominated. But at the end of it all, it's a terrific response moments later to build back the 2-goal lead. Duncan, who has been the conference's Offensive Player of the Week this season, with her 3rd goal of the year, the sophomore from Athens, Tennessee. Shuffle around 40 and then Interstate 75 to get down there. Yenta Cooper wearing the captain's armband. We'll reset. Well, I'm sure if you're Carson-Newman, you might forgive yourselves if you can put up another couple goals. Long ball sent, slicing out of play, and it hits our photographer, Adam Green, who, as always, not paying attention. Elida Taylor. Park all over the backside of Quinley. Steinkamp has put in a long shift on that left channel, but Abby Zander has had the better of her all match long. Propes. Here's Duncan. It's a good low-lining ball. Doesn't have the pace, though. It was nearly passed beyond a defender. Now here's Kriebel. All the pressure that Carson-Newman continues to mount. Eagles had 3 clean sheets during its 4-match winning streak. Looking for a 5th consecutive win. Would be the first time since 2018 that Carson-Newman's won at least 5 in a row. Eagles won 6 and 8 straight during that campaign. That was the year after the Eagles went to the national championship. And Simon Duffy's first year had the lead throughout the second half, eventually losing to Central Missouri on PKs. Here's a throw into the box. It had been very few touches inside of the 18-yard box. We don't have the luxury of the professional leagues to have the detailed stats that you would get at that level, but I'd imagine that touches inside of the attacking third for Mars Hill have been less than 20. And Carson-Newman's has probably been greater than 75. That shows the dominance that the Eagles have. Martinson, the Mars Hill transfer. She would certainly love to score against her former team. Kriebel hits a defender. Corner kick coming up. Carson-Newman has racked them up here in this match. And it will be Duncan to take this corner. Or it will be Bingson, rather. Carson-Newman scored off of a corner on the second ball through on its 8th corner of the match. And here in the 71st minute, another corner coming up. Here's a ball high arcing. Miller waiting for it. Zander gets a piece, is punched away. Well, that is a really dangerous ball. Cooper takes a shot. It takes a ricochet, and it shreds the strings. Yenta Cooper makes up for an earlier miscue by striking for the 2nd time this year. How about that? It all started with a misplay by Quinley. If she doesn't play that ball backwards, that play never happens, but she elected to do so. Cooper takes aim, takes a bounce, and Miller had no chance. 4 goals now for the Eagles. 16-2 outscoring teams in the last 5 matches. And a 4-1 margin. Goals continue to add up. During Carson-Newman's 15-match winning streak against Mars Hill, the most goals that the Eagles scored, not surprisingly, coming in 2016 with 8. Here's a long attempt. Jermis will gobble it up. Well, it's great to have you with us here for this matchup. I'm Michael Watring, bringing you the action here on the Eagle Sports Network. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Got a good men's game coming up. Carson-Newman and Mars Hill on the men's side. That Lions group, an upstart team that reached the conference tournament finals last year. And they have some very good talent on their side to watch out for. And a Carson-Newman team that it feels like every time out is drawing teams. Haven't lost in a month, but a lot of draws during that span as well. It's MJ Park Now the clock does get stopped as Park will readjust her shoe. Throw in for the Eagles. Quickly taken by Park. Bingson racing. Can't get past the first defender. And Mars Hill just has to spray it away. Throw in coming. MJ Park. Kriebel. Kriebel thinking, splits defenders. Xander. Eagles have had very little resistance through the middle of the yard all match. '74th minute. Carson-Newman has scored 4 more goals for the second best goal-scoring team in the South Atlantic Conference entering this matchup. And Simon Duffy can certainly take a lot of pride in his team's effort. Well, in that critical matchup of teams just below Carson-Newman and Catawba in the conference standings, Anderson and Limestone still scoreless. At Anderson, it is a 13-shot-to-5 advantage for Limestone. 7 have come on frame, but they have not been able to break through in that matchup. That's the big one in the conference tonight. Xander galloping along the right channel. Flies it through. Martinson was there. It clears all the way through some bodies. Park will be the first to touch it. Duncan tried to give it back out wide. Takes a bounce. Duncan hustles back after it. And it's a throw coming up here for Mars Hill.
Great movement, White. Great movement, White.
Updating you on how things are looking against Belmont Abbey, and Lenore Ryan is able to take down the Abbey. An 81st minute goal by Nicole Auger proves to be the winner for the Bears on the road. And the final tally, 2-1, Lenore Ryan beats Belmont Abbey.
Come on, Sana.
And a foul whistled against the Eagles. Coker and Catawba kick off at 7:30. And Newberry and Wingate are in the second half of their matchup. Well, it's crazy to think we haven't even reached the end of September yet, and this is already the 10th match of the year. And Steinkamp is offside. Well, speaking with Coach Duffy, he mentioned season's going really fast right now, but the players are starting to see some of the fruits of their labor from the beginning of the year. In all of those preseason matches, in the preseason. And the goal for this year's group is to be in the top 5 of the region. Sitting at 8 if you trust the United Soccer's coaches. And the one that will actually matter will prove to be the NCAA's rankings, but typically those are fairly close. Xander into the box. That was delightful. Nobody touches it as it goes all the way out of the 18. Park back with it. Park flies it in. Probst might have been a target, but it ends up out for a goal kick. And Carson-Newman will make a change in net. Janareem will come in, and Laura Jermis will see her shift come to a close, so Jermis will not get a chance to be a part of a shutout again. She's been a part of all 4 for the Eagles this season. But the Eagles will bring in the junior from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Xander, after it bounces off of a Mars Hill player, and now we're going to stop it. A foul whistled after Xander had gotten rid of it. We're going to get a yellow card here after the fact. So the yellow card is going to go against Ella Parton. So Parton will get the yellow card. First booking of the match. Carson-Newman looking for an 11th consecutive match, unbeaten. It has been over a calendar year since last time Carson-Newman lost here. That was that tough one against Catawba, which the Indians put up 7 against Carson-Newman. And you know that Carson-Newman has had that matchup circled for a long time. Indians will have a game in hand on the Eagles after the night, but Carson-Newman will be atop of the conference table, up to 15 points, 2 clear of LR, and Catawba sitting at 10 entering the night will get Coker at home with a chance to try to improve on their record. Martinson providing the pressure. Taylor swings it out. Kriebel. It is Probst. Probst. She was trying to get around it, trying to draw the foul as well. Will not get either. Well, we're in the 79th minute. And for Mars Hill, it looks like the streaks will continue. This will be a 22nd consecutive conference match without a win. 20 losses, 1 draw since a 2019 win against Tusculum. Alyssa Deno had 2 goals, including the game winner in the 89th minute of a 3-2 victory over the Pioneers. '79th minute. Carson-Newman 4, Mars Hill 1. Martinson thought about taking a shot attempt and maybe thought about it a tad too long as it gets blocked out, and Carson-Newman has its 10th corner of the day. Changes for the Eagles and a cadre of changes. Brenius, Voost, Judd, and Henry all come in. Probst, Martinson, Kriebel, and Bingson are coming out. And promptly, Judd heads to the corner to take this here in the 80th minute. This ball swung all the way to the back post. Headed down, loose in the box. Voost, Park. Wide. Marcel will make a change as well. Riley Nash, the junior from Charleston, South Carolina, replaces Peterson. Peterson put in a long shift here today. Well, you just see a little bit of the difference between these two sides. Carson-Newman with great depth. Made 7 changes in the first half. And when you can go 18 deep, you have a delightful roster of choices to choose from. Carson-Newman, 11 different goal scorers now this season. Voost. And cleared away. Marcel only made a couple changes in that opening half. Not quite the same level of depth. Eagles 4 different goal scorers. Henry waits. Xander redirects. Brenius pushes it. Voost! Punched over the bar by Miller. Oh, for a second there, it looked like Voost was going to add a second goal to the season. Well, that's a great save by Miller, too. The sophomore trying to gain confidence. Xander hits a body. Eagles asking for a handball. It'll not win that battle. Voost to touch. Well, this is where Mars Hill has struggled in this second half to try to clear the lines. Xander trying to tame the ball and now does so. Lions get a deflection. Abby Xander wins possession back. Voos can't hold on to it, though. And now it'll be sent down the pitch, and Jenna Rem will be the one to go get to it. Carson-Newman has played 19 different players in this match. And here in the 83rd minute, leading at 4-1, Eagles still looking for a little bit more as we'll get a goal kick coming. Carson-Newman scored in the opening half. It was a penalty kick from Felicia Frick, and it was a 1-0 advantage for Carson-Newman. The Eagles 25-1 entering the night when leading at halftime under Simon Duffy. And then in the second half, Savannah Fields made it 2-0 in the 58th minute. Carson-Newman with a rare mistake in this match in the 65th minute. A handball whistled against Yenta Cooper just outside of the 18. Gave the Lions a free kick opportunity, and Mars Hill's leading goal scorer, Marianne Ross, with her 4th goal on a terrific strike from just outside of the 18, curling it to the left post. Made it 2-1. Eagles answered, though. Sydney Duncan in the 78th, Yenta Cooper in the 72nd. And Carson-Newman has scored 4 times tonight. And another multi-goal effort by this group to lead it 4-1. And in firm grasp of a 5th consecutive win for the first time since 2018.
Come on, let's lift the level here. It's rough. Everyone, lift the level.
84th minute. You got Mars Hill and Carson-Newman in the men's action coming up a little bit later. Roughly 7:30 local time. Brenius sends it forward. Voost is trying to latch onto it. She gets a shot, and it goes wide. Well, Miller was going to where the ball was going to go, and it's very fortunate for her that she didn't have to slide over to get there. Voost sending it wide.
Next chance, please. On, Jenna.
Wingate has a 1-0 lead on Newberry. That match is in the 83rd minute. Nicole Christie has the goal in that matchup, coming in the 35th minute, as the Bulldogs try to keep pace with the upper echelon in the league. That would get them right into the top 4 picture. But how about a late winner by Freya Jones of Limestone? 89th minute. The Saints had been knocking on the door all match long. And in the waning seconds, Freya Jones sends the Saints over the Trojans, and that pushes Limestone into a tie for 3rd in the league. It's never too early to keep your eyes on things like that, because when you look at the regional rankings, Anderson, Limestone, and Carson-Newman could all be clamoring for final positions in the NCAA tournament. And a road win for Limestone will play heavy. Duncan, Voost. Voost has been dangerous. Brenius. Henry the target of the pass. Eventually Voost will get to it. Tees it up. Miller again making a mess of things, but this time she is able to collect it. Well, Carson-Newman has provided so much pressure throughout this match. 87th minute. And Carson-Newman on top by 3 goals.
Good decision, Noel.
This ball sent towards the bleachers with 3+ minutes remaining in this match. Carson-Newman had trailed for a total of 74 minutes during a 10-match home unbeaten string. And No minutes here today. It has been an early start for the Eagles, and they've added on with 3 more in the second half. And with the shades setting on here on the pitch and temperatures dipping, Carson-Newman looking to see this one out. Henry holding it up. I think she was just trying to play it to herself. A teammate flying by. And now Jenna Rem will get back to it. And Carson-Newman will swing it around.
Good decision. Felicia, ask for it, right?
I'm freezing over here. What on earth?
Eagles holding on to this ball. Temperatures right around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius here for this matchup. And a delightful fall evening has turned into a little bit of a nippy one. The fans in the sun still comfortable. In the shade, starting to need a little bit of sweatshirts, but Carson-Newman's been hot throughout this match. Henry, that is a jarring blow. And now flowing it in. Voos takes a redirect, couldn't get enough on it to beat Miller with 90 seconds to go. 4-1, Carson-Newman. Eagles closing in on a 16th consecutive win over the Lions. And Carson-Newman looking for one more just for good measure. Voost. 65 seconds left. Judd around a defender. Selena Judd
1 minute remaining.
playing it in. Brenius. A cheeky first ball. Xander. Brenius. Duncan. That ball hit a defender, and Miller will pick it up. Lion on lion crime. And it was Celine Artung, the German native, that took the brunt of that one with a half a minute to go.
That's what we do at home with pros.
Birds swirling overhead, and Carson-Newman providing the knockout blow, and Carson-Newman commits the foul. 15 seconds to play.
10,
Down to the final 10 seconds.
8,
Lions will have the last few touches.
5,
Voos touching it
4,
forward.
3, 2,
Final horn will
1.
sound, and Carson-Newman controls things again. The Eagles take down the Lions for a 16th consecutive meeting and hand Mars Hill a 19th consecutive road loss. Dominant performance from McCowan Field. 4 different Eagles score. Carson-Newman victorious for a 5th straight match. Longest winning streak in 4 years. The final score, it is Carson-Newman 4 and Mars Hill 1. The numbers tell the tale. The Eagles with 20-plus shots for a 3rd consecutive match close out the night with a grand total of 25 for the day, forcing oodles of saves from Cameron Miller. But 4 different goal scorers provide the difference for Simon Duffy's group. Frick, Fields, Duncan, and Cooper score for the Eagles. 1 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Celebrations all around. The Eagles are in first place in the South Atlantic Conference standings at the end of September. And the Eagles will have a chance on Saturday against Newberry with a chance to add to its winning streak. Carson-Newman 4, Mars Hill 1. For our entire crew signing off for the women's match, I'm Michael Watrang. The men's contest is 30 minutes away. We'll see you at 7:30 for kickoff here from Harvey Stadium. Andrew Rogers standing by for the call of that one. The Eagles take down the Lions for a 16th straight meeting. 4-1. We'll talk to you shortly. Until then, good night, everyone.